The biggest thing about it is a family deal. I enjoyed bringing my kids out. I think they learn a lot, learn how to do a lot of things. But we get to spend time together doing things, and sometimes it's work, sometimes it's fun. We do a lot of stuff, and my family's a big part of it. They're the kind of the main reason I enjoy doing it.
Cactus. My mission is to find people who do things differently, and today I have a special treat for you. We are visiting Travis Flake in Arizona. Travis is a passionate rancher, like his ancestors. His great-great-grandfather, William Flake, co-founded the town in 1878. I want to find out, what can we city dwellers learn from Travis? Why did he choose to be a rancher? What does he like the most? And what are the difficulties? Tschou zämä. My name is René, a Swiss in LA. And for this episode, I'm excited to take you with me for a look inside. What does it take to live off the land, to work with 1,000-pound animals, to be out every day in the heat, in the cold? What does it take to be a real American cowboy?
My dad and 3 of his brothers were partners in a cattle ranch. They ran anywhere from 800 to 1,200 head of cattle. We learned to work hard because we always had something to do. The thing that bugged my dad the most is when we come home from school and we're sitting around doing nothing. If we're out playing or something, he'd understand. He says we needed to have a childhood, have fun and play. But if we were sitting around and doing nothing, watching TV or something, it drove him crazy, and he'd always give us a terrible job to do. We waited to feed them this late, so they come in. If they get out there in the pasture, sometimes they're hard to catch.
Okay, they're like humans. They're sometimes also easier to catch when
Animals are all like humans. There's some good ones, there's some bad ones. Some of them are nice, easygoing, some are jerks.
Your path was basically set, like that. It was ranching.
As a kid, growing up ranching, you don't appreciate what you have. Sometimes you think it's a job and you don't like it and stuff. Now that I've been away from it, I moved off, went to college, kind of got into the construction field, and I enjoy that too. But I really enjoy ranching. And when I moved back here about 15 years ago, when I came back home, one of the first things I did was saddle up a horse and go riding around a little bit because I really missed it. I enjoyed it, really loved it. Now that we got the horses caught, we'll let them finish eating their grain.
What's in their feed?
This is just corn,
yep,
ground corn.
Just corn.
Right now they're out here. There's a lot of grass and weeds, and the horses will eat a lot of anything, so they're going to be out here for a couple more weeks. It's saving us hay. We're not having to feed hay because there's enough hay around here, or weeds and stuff around here. When I first moved back, I was just helping my dad with the ranch, but then when he passed away, I just kind of kept managing it and running it, and then I finally purchased it from my mother. The biggest thing about it is a family deal. I enjoyed bringing my kids out. I think they learn a lot, learn how to do a lot of things, but we get to spend time together doing things, and sometimes it's work, sometimes it's fun. My oldest 2 daughters, I can remember moving cattle out, and then we got stuck caught in a rainstorm. And they got home. We got home and they were froze to the bone. But it's something they remember, something they had fun doing, and they still enjoy doing it. They're very good at it.
These are the best adventure that you never forget.
Yeah, we do a lot of stuff, and my family's a big part of it. They're the kind of the main reason I enjoy doing it. Spend time with them.
Do you usually put the same saddle on the same horse, or that doesn't matter too much?
It doesn't really matter too much. It's just like whatever saddle you feel comfortable with. Like I'll put my saddle on whichever horse I'm gonna ride.
Yeah. And how did you pick your saddle? Is there a preference, or are there brands, or how can I imagine that?
Nah, it's just the saddle we had. It's the one I like the most.
And I assume you move cattle preferably by horse and not using ATVs, or...
There's some places we can't get through with an ATV. I like to do it with horse. Some ways it's better. I mean, if you got good country, but we're going to go through a trail today that an ATV wouldn't be able to go through. So, you don't have to get
I
too
see,
tight
yeah.
yet. But I still like the old-fashioned way. I like to get on a horse and ride. These are good horses. This is business. We've had him. He's getting close to 20 years old. We've had him since he was about 4 or 5 years old. That's Joy. She's business's half sister. She's probably 17, 18 now.
Wow.
That there's Huckleberry. That's he's about 12 years old now. He was born here at this barn. He was my brother's horse, and then my brother sold him, and then the guy that bought him wanted to get rid of him, and he asked me if I wanted him, so I bought him. He's a good big horse for a big fat guy like me.
And that was the moment I found out Trey was saddling the horse Tracy for me. But wait, I don't know how to ride a horse.
I think you'll be just fine on her. If not, it doesn't work, then we'll switch things up a little bit. But I think you'll be fine.
Good, good. Looking
All right.
forward to that.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. All right, let's load R3 in the first, and then put Tracy in the middle.
And running a ranching operation, what does make you money? Is it sell the cows or the calves, or is it the meat that you then sell and distribute?
It's your calf crop every year. That's where you get your money from. And we raise the calves, and then you raise them through the summer. And I'm getting ready to sell some of my calves here next month on the October 10th. And that's where we get the money. That's where you get your profit from. You also have cows, like we got a couple old cows this year that they've done well, they've raised good calves, but they're getting pretty old, and it's going to be hard for them to go through the winter. So we're going to get rid of them this year, and we'll keep a couple of the calves that we've raised, the heifer calves. We'll keep those, and we'll put them into the herd. You try to keep the best calves, your best calves for yourself, and that way your herd kind of improves. Try to keep improving your herd every year, where you have a good set of cows.
And is direct sales something that you keep in mind, or that you're doing even?
I've heard some people do that, and it's very profitable for them, and that's a good thing to do. But
it adds additional processing.
It's a lot. It's more work. You have to have more pasture to pasture the cows while you feed them up, while you raise them bigger. But it's something like I wouldn't mind doing that in the future. But right now I'm just not ready to do it.
So Travis, what's the task? What are we up to?
All right. What we're doing? Well, let's say this way. A friend of mine says the difference between a good ranch manager and a bad ranch manager is about 5 inches of rain. This year we've been blessed. We've had a lot of rain, more than 5 inches. Cattle would be fine staying in this pasture. There's plenty of feed. There's grass everywhere. They would be just fine. But we like to rotate them, and we also want to save some feed for the winter when the grass isn't growing.
Yes.
So what we're doing is just rotating the cattle to a different pasture. We're going to go get around the cattle, and then we're just going to head them off to the south. We're going to go down through a trail in our 5 mile draw.
Yes.
And we're going to just put them in a different pasture, let them eat some of the grass there. And hopefully this grass, because it's still green and there's still moisture in the ground, it'll grow back up after the cows have eaten it. Usually like this, when you have a year like this, when there's plenty of feed everywhere, the cattle don't travel too far, but sometimes they do.
They're roaming for grass.
Yeah, when they don't have the feed, yeah, they'll roam a little bit.
Yep.
Oh.
Who owns this land? It's your cattle on it, but who owns the land?
The land is owned by I have three separate leases. They're long-term leases that we lease the land to put cattle on it. Part of it is Aztec Land and Cattle Company, and they've had it for a long time, for probably 70, 80 years at least. Part of it is state land. Arizona State was state that we lease it from them. And the other part is BLM land, Bureau of Land Management, and we lease it from them. So I don't own any of this land, I just own the leases to it.
Yep.
And to run the cattle on it.
Got it.
My family's been using it for as long as I can remember. I'm almost 50 years old, so probably at least 70, 80 years my family, this land's here.
Yes. And how hard is it to get a lease for a land, for an outsider or for someone new coming in?
Basically, you have to buy it from somebody that wants to sell it, somebody that's decided they're not going to use it anymore, and you have to buy it from them, or you have to just pay them enough money where they're ready to sell.
If you're not giving up your lease, so
I enjoy this. This is my thing. I don't want to lose it, so I keep current on the payments, and I don't want to lose this lease. And that's just kind of how it goes.
Yeah.
You just have to buy a lease from somebody that's willing to sell it to you.
Well, that's what you call grass-fed.
Yep. These are raised, they're just pasture bred out here. We do give them some minerals. We give them a block called Romensin that helps them digest the grass. And usually you do that when it's old dry grass. And then we do give them salt, stuff like that. But yeah, most of their foraging is just out here.
Yeah.
This year has been great. 2 years ago we'd have been out here and you'd have a hard time finding green pieces. We have a hard time finding any green grass.
Yeah.
This year, it's amazing what a couple of years difference a couple of years can make.
Let me ask you, I'm sure there are different breeds of cows. Probably one breed is better for a certain climate or region. How does that come together?
There's lots of different breeds of cows. My dad and his brothers had a breed of cow called the Beefmaster, and that was a combination of 6 different breeds that had been put together, and they're a very hardy cow and did very well. Things have kind of changed. A lot of the feed yards where they feed out the cows, they liked them to be kind of a uniform cow. And then I think marketing has kind of moved everybody towards the Angus breed.
And as a Swiss, one breed is common over there, and it's called the Simmental.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. I've growing up, we did 4-H steers, show steers for the fair here in Navajo County, and I've seen several Simmental cows and calves. That's kind of a very big frame cow. They were good cows and they performed really well out on the range and that, but the beef processors, they like to get the cows that have a uniform size and where they get in the feed yard and they kind of grow in a uniform way. And the bigger cows take a little bit longer to finish out and grow. And so that's why everybody in this area anyway has kind of gone towards the Angus, because you can get a better price per cow, price per pound for your Angus calves and that. And so that's kind of where we went to.
And Travis, in Switzerland, ranchers name their cows. Does your cows also have names?
You know, with a small herd like this, we'll name 1 or 2 of them.
Do you have a naming philosophy or principle?
Well, every February, March when we start calving, I'll bring the kids out and we'll see the new calves on the ground for the first time. And seems like they always start naming them. But seeing all the cows are black, they call them Blackie 1, Blackie 2, Blackie 3, Blackie 4.
Right. What's your branding sign?
It's FR. So
Oh,
that's
yes.
what our brand is. So if you look on some of these calves, you can see them. So if you, like right here, if you come to the side of it a little bit, you can see sort of.
That's how you identify.
Yeah, so if like somebody like steals some of our cows and we go and we can find them, we can see the brand on them.
Yeah. Then it's clear. Yeah.
Yeah.
No debate.
You see the boys, this long tall grass,
Yeah.
there's probably a real name for it. But my dad used to call it needle and thread grass because you can pull the tops off it and it's kind of like a needle.
Yes.
And then you throw it.
Fantastic.
It has barbs in it, and that's how it recedes. But the boys, we always have fun. We have fun doing that.
Yeah.
We'll throw it and stick it at each other until they throw it at your back, and you don't realize they throw it at you until you start getting an itch of a barb sticking in you and drowning in you. It's fun to watch these cows that see pretty much all these cows have been here. I've been here and watched them when they got here and watched when they were born.
Yes.
And they were raised here. Most of them were born here. Some of them we brought here when they were a year old.
Yeah.
And we just watched them develop and grow and taking care of them.
It is about caring.
Well, that's part of the business. The happier, the more well-fed a cow does, the better, the bigger the calf it raises and all that stuff, and it's a better thing. And it's the same thing with your pasture, because you don't want to overgraze the land either, because you want to be able to, you want the land to sustain your cows. It's not just a year-to-year thing. You want it to be generation to generation.
It's got to be sustainable.
Yeah.
It
You gotta
teaches
watch
you
it.
to be sustainable.
Yeah. You want your cows to be happy,
Yeah.
and you do the best you can.
Yep.
Roping is an important skill. It is used on ranches when cattle need to be caught, branded, or require medical attention.
Oh, I missed it. See, I'm not the best roper.
We can cut that out.
We're good. Wait till I catch one. My boys are learning too, though. Trevin's over there. Trevin's gonna try one. Get her? Got one. Here's the thing, when you're roping here, if you get one, you can't pull it tight or you'll have your rope stuck on a cow's leg.
Yes.
If you get two, you can pull it tight because the calf will loosen it up by itself.
Oh.
You want it, but basically the thing is you want to curl it around in front of the calf's hind legs.
Yep.
Between the front legs and the hind legs.
Oh.
Just kind of get right in here and throw it right in like that,
Yeah,
and she
and
walks
then
right
boom.
into it.
I named it.
There we got
Oh,
it.
here we go.
Whoa.
Roping and tying up cattle requires a lot of practice. Earlier this morning, it was Trevin's turn.
My son Trevin here, he's going to learn how to tie a calf. He hasn't done it much. So Pat and I are going to hold onto the rope. We're going to pull it back in out of the mud, and Trevin's going to try to throw the calf and tie the calf, and Pat's going to teach him how to tie it. You get on the side, grab the flank and the neck, and if it jumps, use the jump for momentum. Okay?
Let's show you the right way. Go ahead, put that in your mouth. No worse than kissing the girls.
Down your loop. So I want you to do right here, hold the rope right here, all right? Me and your dad are going to be on the other side. We're going to pull them. You want to open the chute? Come on, I'll show you.
Over to the other side, Johnson. Open the chute.
You just push this back. A butterfly.
Hey, you ready? Trevin, you ready?
We're going to pull them into the sand.
We'll pull them up here.
All right.
Let it go. Go, 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 go. You gotta go. Oh. You're on the wrong side. Go under the rope.
Go down to his head.
Go right down. Go quick,
Don't
quick.
let go of the rope, though. Keep the left on the rope. There you go. Now flank him.
There you go.
Pull.
There you
Pull
go.
that left arm really hard.
Pull.
Pull.
Jerk. There you go. Grab the leg. Grab the leg. There you go. Good job.
Bring it the other way, other way, other way.
Hey, stand up and get your legs spun. I'll keep the head.
See how I got this leg? You're gonna string them right out here, right? Strings out. You see how I grabbed that right there? Bring those up in tight.
And then you get your leg in there to hold them in there. Just like that.
That's how it's done.
Pat's a professional. He does it. He's gonna go rope the calves. He's gonna rope them, throw them, and tie them in like 15 seconds
Then you gotta
today.
get on the horse and do all that and get off and go do it.
He's done.
He's going.
It doesn't even faze him. He's
No.
gonna go get with those other calves. And
Yes.
Come on, girl, get out of there. Come on, girl.
What can ranching teach us about life?
Oh, there's lots of things. You have to stick with it. You have to work. It's work. There's lots of things you have to do. Right now we're having a beautiful day, and this is something I enjoy doing. My boys, I believe are enjoying it. Most of the times they do. But there's lots of things that you have to do that you don't want to do. Like we got the krails over there. There's plenty of times we have to fix the fence,
Yep.
fence to fix and stuff like that.
Yep.
Fixing fence is not easy work. It's hard. You're playing with barbed wire, you get scratches all over you. You're pounding posts down into the ground, you're digging post holes. It's hard work. There's things that have to get done, and you can't push it off either. There's good and bad. I mean, there's times where you have to get a job done. In the spring, we get a lot of wind here. And that's a terrible day. I'd rather be out in the rain or the snow than the wind.
Yes.
But you still have to get out and move the cattle when it's windy. You just have to do it.
Yeah. What would you tell to someone who maybe isn't happy, stuck in a job, 9 to 5? Like what advice would you have for someone like that?
That's every job. You just have to deal with it. I mean, that's life. Life is not going to be a roller coaster ride every day. You just have to deal with it. You got to get through it. You got to look for the positive. There's always something good going with it.
Yep.
Just look for the positive and get through it.
Yep.
And then you just own up to your mistakes. If you mess up, let them know.
Yep.
The only people that aren't making mistakes are the people that aren't doing anything.
Yeah.
I believe we were put on this earth to enjoy it, have fun, and that's what we got to do.
Yes.
There's problems everywhere, but you just got to look for the bright side.
Yeah.
And everybody's just got to find something they can enjoy and do it. Something to take a break, and then find the good in the things you have to do.
How much risk is in ranching? Do you have to take risks? And how lightly do you take them?
There's a risk. I mean, there's risk in everything you do.
Yeah.
You just have to deal with it. And this is probably more than the other things, because you can't control the weather. You have to rely on the Lord to bless you with things, and you just have to get through it.
So the way to do it is probably just take whatever comes your way and deal with it when it happens?
Well, there's things you can do. You learn things. My dad and his brothers was that when I was a kid growing up, and they learned about, it's called the savory system, where they put a big crail in the middle of it, and they put a water in that crail, and then they put fences out, kind of like cutting that big pasture into pieces of pie.
Yes.
And you rotate your cattle along that pasture, through that pasture,
Yeah.
and it gives some feed time to grow, and it just uses more of the pasture. You utilize more of the pasture, and so you can run more. You can put more cattle on one piece of pasture.
Yes, but that
And
makes
so
a lot of sense.
you just have to learn and adapt. There's always things to learn.
Yeah. So you'd say you're still learning.
Always learning. I still don't consider myself a cattleman. My dad was way more of a cattleman than I was. He knew a lot, and he would say the same thing about his. In fact, I did hear him say that about his dad.
Yeah.
That he thought he was way more of a cattleman.
Huh.
I
So
mean,
yeah, you're 5 generations in, and you're still saying, "Hey, there's
we're
stuff
learning.
to-"
We're just learning and doing. You know, you just do what you can do.
Yeah. How can we city dwellers, like what can we do to support your work and ranches like yours?
Well, here's the deal. Most of the laws and stuff for most states are decided by people that live in the cities. People in the cities, they create laws and stuff like that where it can hurt the ranching industry that they know nothing about.
Yeah.
Find out if somebody in Washington or somebody in your state legislature's trying to create a law and that's going to affect the cattle rancher stuff. Listen to somebody, listen to the rural side of it. Listen to the people that deal with it. Don't just trust people that live in Washington or live in the capital of your state.
Yep.
Don't just trust them about what they're going to do. Talk to the people it's going to affect, and then make your choice on that.
If I live in a city and I would like to get that perspective, what can I do to meet people like you?
Go to where they gather, where they do things. They have groups and stuff that they're in. Find out what those groups. There's the Farm Bureau for Arizona.
Yep.
That's a group that does a lot of good. There's the Arizona Cattle Association, ACA here. They do a lot of group. Talk to groups like that. Find out, there's always groups that represents an industry that they get together to help better themselves and better their group.
Yep.
Talk to the people in it and find out.
Great advice.
Yeah, you might have to get in your car and drive a little bit, but get out and talk to the people in the industry.
That's it, huh? The cows have arrived on the new pasture and remain here until the grass is eaten down toward a lower height. Do you have any tips or tricks for someone to be happy? I ask that everyone, and I'm curious.
I mean, I'm sure there's lots of problems people have, and some people have depression, and that's a real thing. But most people, I think you can make up your mind. If you want to be happy, you can be happy, and just make up your mind and do it. It's your choice, and you just have to decide and do it. Follow through with it.
These stories show you what other people have done. My goal is to encourage you. Listen to your heart. Find the courage to go after your passions in life. You want to know my recipe? Take a first step and see what happens. Right, Trouble?
People like Travis inspire us to do the things we're passionate about. Help others to find this story by sharing it with your friends. You never know what you might kick off. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Tschou.
Bye.
I'm so happy it hurts.